Hello everyone, we are here today to talk on Nagaland politics with Dr. Andrew Ahoto, who is the president of National People's Party, Nagaland State. So he has a lot of things to tell us today on the politics and the nature of governance that is happening here in Nagaland. Thanks for giving us this time to interact with you. And as we know that Nagaland is in deep state, it's in many ways arguably in very dilapidated condition when it comes to governance, when it comes to politics. And the first thing that came to my mind is, we have in the Nagaland state called no opposition party. And it's an oppositionless government. How does that, oppositionless government work in a democracy? What do you think? How will that help us as a citizen?
Good morning, Ransom and your team.
Thank you.
And I'm privileged to be here with you all and to share some of my opinion. And I'll be candid about many things whichever I share.
Wonderful.
And I'm happy that you raised the same question about non-oppositionless government. Yes, it is one of the best ideas in one way. If at all our Nagaland state had to be a state where we had no corruption, where we had wonderful governance, and the people were all enjoying a happy governance like in Bhutan, like the happiness was around everywhere, and everybody was striving with prosperity and not with greed, but with the goodness of each and everybody, looking into the accounts of everybody. But when we look at not this happening around, I see that there are a lot of discrepancies. And the sad thing is that corruption has seeped in too deep. Our old age forefathers, we were a person with dynamic tolerance, and a person who had concern for the people. But when we look at the politics as of now, right now, I could see that there are a lot of deliberation to be done, because the leaders, I will not blame all the leaders, but we need to be in constructive criticism. And when we are giving that kind of a constructive criticism, people should not feel awkward, but rather they should correct the mistakes, as no man is perfect. So I feel that the present government right now is doing its work well, I would say, in many aspects, but over and large, when we look at the records, after the result has come out, as we all give exams, when we see the results are in negative integers. So I would see that our Nagaland should firstly think for the people, that is pro-people, rather than selfish kind of an attitude. And I feel that Nagaland has a long way to catch up with many of the Northeast states. In fact, we are one of the last, I would say, in many aspects. So I hope we wake up to understand that they need to be in a position in a democratic. It's not that trying to be always in a democratic means like devil's advocate or being adverse to whatever people say, but these are something like we need to have a constructive criticism. So this is what I look into, and I hope that one day our Nagaland will have no more corruption, and the corruption state will be, the tag will be out from our state, and development will thrive for the prosperity of everybody.
And as a citizen, at least there are thousands of people, maybe let's say 50% of the Nagaland state citizens are represented by the erstwhile or the former opposition party, which is the NPP. So joining and colluding or forming as a one government system with the NPP and the BJP and the PDA alliance. So do you think that justice is done to the citizens, like about 50% of the state, like because they are supposed to represent the voice of 50% of the, let's say roughly 50% of the state's citizens. So like having an oppositionless government, do you think it's good to practice this way in a democracy, or why do you think there is oppositionless government?
See, I don't know what is the hidden agenda and what is what is there up the sleeves hidden. But I hope it is not meant for elevating oneself and to be playing with the counterpart and to be compromising mode, I would say that. I hope it is not that. I hope that if they had amalgamated together for the prosperity of our entire Nagaland, then things would have been it would have gone for a better toss. But the problem is that we do not see, and we have not realized that after the intervention of all that amalgamation taking place. Within themselves, there's trust built is not there. So there's high chances of either one suspecting the other, in spite of they saying that we want to join hands. If at all they would like to join hands, I would have said that all should have been in one party. Then that would make more sense. Having 3 different parties, having 3 different ideology, vision, mission and all that, I don't see that happening, you know. At the end of the day, in 2023, everything will come down and the beans will be spilled. And then we will know like who's trying to actually bring out this kind of togetherness, or separation would be, the gap will be further.
Yes.
So this is what I look into that, yeah.
And as a political leader, or as a leader of the party in Nagaland, which area do you feel Nagaland is really going in the wrong direction?
See, Nagaland has gone wrong in almost 90% wrong in every direction. We have probably, those days we had 11 districts. And we had about, probably we were getting about 4,000 crores per annum, the budget. It has again further declined to 3,000. If in those days we had about 4,000 crores plus, I would say that if we had to divide that equally to all the 11 districts, each district would have got 300 crores. I mean 400 crores, I would say that, right. So it would have been a very comfortable, you know, to develop every district if we had to give non-biased kind of looking at it in a prospect that we have no stepmotherly affection towards anyone, you know. But the concentration of the development has only taken in only 1 or the most 2 states. So the pathetic condition of the road, there is no kind of we are the only state which does not have a medical college. We are the only state which are not having our own income revenue, you know, like unlike our neighboring states which have got their own revenue in many folds. But what could be the reason? So that the government needs to smartly think about. It is the leaders who actually has to derive. It is the leader who has to motivate and has to lead the people in the right directives. But when the leaders are not doing, performing and showing the way, what will the youth do for the tomorrow?
Right. And in short, just recently there was a news, there was a new learning that Nagaland has a deficit of more than 2,000 crores. I mean, and as a state, as a government, that's quite way beyond, acceptable.
Right.
So what do you comment on that?
See, the deficit, yes, as you rightly pointed out, it is very shocking. It is 2,400 plus, which is nearly quantum to 1 year budget. Seriously. So what's happening? Where has all the fun gone? I would say if the wisdom of the leaders who were there right now ruling, if they had to really streamline everything, the budget of ours is declining and our deficit is going up. So at one time it's going to meet in between, right? Exactly. And then it's going to be in the equal status. Then where are we heading? We are always coming with a begging bowl, I would say that. Right. And Nagaland, we do not expect that. We are good people. We are good, kind-hearted people. But the goodness has been taken for a weakness by the leaders. I would say that we need to rise up and bring a huge transformation, reformation.
Regarding the new district creation in Nagaland, there were 3 districts which was declared allocated just overnight.
Right.
And after that, there were a lot of issues, there were a lot of complaints and grievances from other demanding people.
Right.
So what do you say on that? Is it done in the right way as per your understanding?
I would clearly say that it's been very biased because more deserving district have not got, and one of the district which was not even asked for it had got it. So I do not know whether it's been a bias, okay, or there has been some kind of a selfish interest that has been put in. Well, we do not mind like having more district, it does not matter. But do we have enough money in the exchequer of our state? Exactly. Because more state district creation would have incurred more financial aspect we have to look into. So I would say that a leader should think positively and come up with a concrete idea, not being selfish, not being biased. And I would say that the deserving state district should be given a green signal, and they should be given the district because that is their demand, that is their want. And if there's more district creation, I believe that there'll be more development in that aspect. No doubt it will have a lot of pressure on the finance, but if at all we are going to work honestly, every district is going to grow for the better. And I would say that even equal budget should be given to all the districts. It should not be concentrated only in 1 or 2 districts where the entire budget is being focused into that and development is only on the few districts. We should have development across every district and without giving any stepmotherly attitude. And this is what I would really fight for, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel that whichever districts,
Yes.
new districts have been given,
Yeah.
is there a need for more allocating more new districts?
Right.
Those who are deserving people who are
Yes.
deserving people who are demanding?
Yes.
Or should it be limited just to 3 now?
I would say that limitation would have worked out, nothing like having limitation, but there has been no development whatsoever.
Sure.
So people demanding for the district, that means they also want to take care of their own wants. They know their own problem within their district and their own tribe or for their own region. So I feel that there is no harm in asking for demanding a district. Likewise, they know their own, like we were talking about the NPP, like the national, integrating the entire Northeast. So we know our problem. And that's why, knowing our own problem, the center probably may not know what is the problem with the Northeast. So if at all we have given the district, we know our own problem. So this problem can be accumulated to one, and then we have a brainstorming and how to develop and go and develop the district. So I feel that demanding and giving more district, it does not matter. But the government has to work very smart and to see that the equal opportunity is given to all the district, and fund allocation should be given in the good way without being biased.
Exactly.
Yeah. A good leader will make a drastic change for our state.
That is very interesting. I think like you rightly pointed out, we Nagas are very naive politically,
Yeah.
plus so tolerant
Yes.
either to good things or bad things.
Right.
So it's the chance is coming, I would say, as a leader of a political party here in Nagaland.
Right.
The 2023 election.
Right.
So how is your party preparing for this election, and what do you see in this upcoming election, let's say in 2023?
See, we are very positive about things because we have had the ideology of uniting the whole Northeast. May not be under the banner of NPP itself, but our NPP, the motto rightly says, one voice, one Northeast.
Right.
Why do we have this? It was coined by our PA, late Sangma, the father of Conrad.
Right.
And they have been a visionary, you know. And Sir Conrad also he's a dynamic leader in itself, and he knows the problem of our Northeast. The NPP, we are looking at a change in such a way that we want to reform the entire Northeast. It does not have to be in the NPP itself, but we are looking at the regional parties also. So our NPP is a regional outlook, but with a national policy that we are going to deliver. Yes. And we invite all the regional parties to come together. So as such, we see that we have around 24 MPs across the Northeast. Our wishful thinking is that one day this Northeast, the 24 MPs come together under one umbrella, and then we can unite the whole Northeast, and we can be a good force to reckon in the center. So when the entire Northeast come under one umbrella of a regional party or a national party through the NPP, I think we can be a big voice in the center, not opposing, but for the development of the entire state. Okay. That's what we look into, yeah.
That's interesting. But the question is, when there is NDPP, very powerful regional party, let's say confined to Nagaland, and when there is powerful NBF,
yes,
how do you think the NPP will make her way through the Nagaland?
Yeah.
When there is enough or maybe strong local political parties?
Yes.
Like, what is the thing that you would introduce to the people of Nagaland to make sure they attract or they believe the ideology of NPP? How are you going to make that?
See, NPP is a very newly born party, I would say that, and it just come to its national status very early also, being a small child, just born yesterday, but we have come to the level of national party.
Right.
We look at NDPP and NPF, they are very old parties, regional, but they have not reached to that status. That itself can prove that we are really going to leaps and bounds. Okay. And our ideology is catching up very well. Right now in Manipur poll also we are doing very well. And from 4 now we have put in candidature of 39. We're expecting at least around 20 plus. And you can see the Meghalaya also. The entire state is being swiped by NPP. So, and the leaders itself, they walk the talk and they are performing tremendously well. So I feel that one day, yes, obviously, NPP will be a party which is going to really move and think for the regional people by and large, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, in the last Assembly Election of Nagaland 2018,
yes,
there were 2 NPP candidates who were elected.
Yes.
And what's gone so wrong that they had to defect to other party?
Well, in every party there's a horse trading. And I would say that they may have made a blunder, I would say,
Right.
and probably they're regretting in that way, because if they had been in our party, they would have been a cabinet by now, and they would have done something good for the people, and only wherever the crowd goes, we should not follow the crowd, sometime. We need to also make our own image, and sorry to say, but they have their own ideas of joining the other group. We do not mind, but I would say that henceforth, our Nagas should stick to their ideology and should not betray anyone, because we, being in the Christian state, we have very strong belief that we should not backstab anybody. True. And I hope that this message goes across, that we need to, whatever, through storms, rainy or through sunshine, we need to stick together as one family, for the goodness of everybody.
Exactly. Because those defection totally is an act of betrayal in the political sense.
Right.
Because people give the mandate
Yes.
that, okay, you are contesting from this party,
Very
so we
true.
believe in this ideology, so
Very
we
true.
will elect you.
Very true.
But once getting elected, diverting to different political ideology
Yes.
can be detrimental to our wellness, to the wellness of our political life.
Right.
So, trying to understand from what you have shared, NPP is getting relevant even to the state of Nagaland.
Right.
Because if we fight just as a Naga
Yes.
in the national political scenario,
Yeah.
there will not be any difference. We will not be able to make any big difference, or
Yeah.
will not be able to influence.
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, that there is the motto of the one voice, one Northeast.
Yeah.
So, how does that relevant to the, let's say, as a Naga political problems? Do you think NPP believes in resolving the Naga political issue as a political party, just like the NPF?
Yeah. See, our main manifesto number one was to first transform Nagaland and to have the solution first. That is the main agenda.
Transform as in Dr.
Transform in the sense that we need to revamp the entire Nagaland state and the Northeast for the good level, And then when we have a solution of the Naga peace, I think the entire Northeast is going to be under peaceful state. And that's what we look at. See, our main ideology of Nagaland NPP is that we want to bring solution. That is the first thing. Remove ASPA is one of the second, and many more. But if at all we have a peace in Nagaland, we are going to have ultimate peace in the Northeast, because it's going to have a ripple effect. And we feel that, honestly, we should stick for that. But if, supposing, we have to be in the minister or we have to be in the MLA or whatever, I think we do not want to give our seat away, So we do not want the peace settlement to come in. But this is quite selfish, True. So we should give way to the peace first, then to think for selfish motives first. So I will feel that we need to think, we need to garner this peace, number one, and after that give a leverage to it, so that in the Northeast we come to an understanding and show the way. Because Northeast Nagaland insurgency has been one of the oldest, and it has been actually a true, genuine cause that they're fighting for, to bring about a reformation. And we stick to that. And I hope that one day that we can achieve through the NPP, and I do not know about the other political parties. Maybe they have in the agenda, but are they striving to work towards that? That I'm quite skeptical sometimes, I feel, No doubt they might be doing it, but the effort is not as much as it should have been. So the effort, the sincere effort is very important, I would say that.
Very true. It has to be sincere. It has to be committed, I think, to bring a solution to all these problems. And as a political party, NPP must be looking towards bringing a resolution to the Naga political problem as well.
Right.
So, if elected in the upcoming 2023 election, we may accept the fact, or we all know, or somehow debatably know, that NPP alone will not form a single majority government at this stage.
Right.
So, is there a possibility of forming a government with the other parties like NDPP, BJP, for example?
Yes.
Is NPP open to such coalition?
Yes. Yeah, we are open to any kind of a collusion, because I know that even in Manipur probably will not have a single largest majority by any of the party. And we look into that like we are in the safer zone, because the BJP and Congress will never merge together. So we have the option of choosing our side. So, but we will say that whichever side we choose, it will be for the better glory of all that particular state. And I know that NPP will always stand for its integrity. We will stand for the goodness of our state development and everything. And we know that NPP will always think pro-people and pro-development. As you see, that development is very to the minimal level in Nagaland. We always look into, as we aspire that one day we can bring this change in the government by emerging or by joining any after the post-poll alliance. So we feel that one day we can make our dreams come true. And it's not that after having a merger with some of the counterpart, it's not that we will compromise to whatever they say. We will have an objection wherever we need to object.
True. So now the Manipur election is coming up in a few days. Let's say next week it's going to be conducted after 5 years. What is the position of NPP as per, as an observer from other state? Are they performing well, and what is the possibility of securing seats as per your estimation?
Yeah, I would say that, as earlier said, that we have gone to leaps and bounds. From 4 now we have been putting our candidature on 39.
So that means in the last election it was just 4 candidates? No,
we were more than that, but we came out with 4 flying colors. And one, luckily we had this deputy CM, and 4 of them were also cabinet.
Exactly.
So it speaks a lot,
It does.
Yeah. So right now, when we look at the present Manipur poll, we look into all the, we took the poll and all exit and everything. We found out that most of them will not be getting the absolute majority. So we'll be here as a kingmaker, I would say that, and then we hope that we can bring that transformation that we are talking about by joining into the political party, whichever is like-minded, and we can bring that change in that aspect, So that's what we're looking for,
Totally. So do you foresee a better performance than the last election? Because you say there were 4 of them came up in flying color.
Yes.
So now you have around what? How much? 40 candidates you have placed, right? In Manipur,
yeah, we had placed around 41. Now 39 lastly it came up to.
So as per your estimation, how much? How do you predict like how much it may come out in flying color this election?
Being very optimistic, we say that 20 plus is going to come out.
20 plus.
20 plus. That's very being optimistic, and then we feel that we'll come up to that level, but minimum 10 to 15.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
So it's like 50%, more than 50% improvement compared to last assembly election.
Very true, yeah.
That's wonderful. And when it comes to Nagaland, you know that the youth are in thirst of a great political leaders, like very committed to common people, and who can be easily approached when there's a need for issue to be raised from the youth side. But as of now, we feel that the youth feel that it's inaccessible. The political leaders are inaccessible. So the thoughts and the suggestions and recommendations of youth go unheard in many cases. So what do you think, whether the youth should involve in politics, and how do you want the youth to involve in our politics?
Very good question, Actually, the youths of the Nagaland, as such in Northeast also has been very much deprived. In Nagaland, we can see 40% of the population is with the youths, but the aspiring youths are not like the bygone days. They're more proactive. They want to go to the uncharted water, and they want to take risk. But is our leaders taking that risk for them? Is our leaders so much concerned for the youth of tomorrow, or are they only having the selfish goals being met? So this is the desperate that I see, The youth has to be really motivated with all the skill set, mindset and everything. And I feel that there has to be more on entrepreneur skills, there has to be more industry, medical colleges. We need to have ecotourism, we need to have medical tourism, we need to have educational tourism. And I always been hoping that school, colleges and medical industries or IT, whatever, has to be more in our state. We are lacking that for a long time. And rightly said by one of the African in the gate, in the college university, it was mentioned that if at all you want to destroy a nation, it is not through atomic bombs and missiles. It is just lowering the standard of education. So education plays a vital role, So I feel that the youths are geared up with all that. But after being geared up also, they have not yet any opportunity, no avenues. So I feel that the youths have long aspiration, and they have got a big role to play, provided they have been given a hand holding. And I would say that the youth should come up in force and see that politics is not bad in many aspects,
Not at all.
Yeah.
We are at the end of the day determined by what politics is.
Very true.
All our everyday life.
Very true.
True.
We are looking at the negative part of the politics in Nagaland. So everybody feels that if you join politics, it's the bad version, you know.
And it's unchristian.
Unchristian. And it's purely on corruption and all the background appointment, you know.
Very
but
true.
if you look at politics in the right way, it's one of the best, you know. It makes the civilization grow to a next level.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So I hope that our leaders make a huge transformation of this political party, or whichever political party they may belong, or whichever politics they are into it. A good leadership is the need of the hour, I would say that. And a visionary leader is very important. Then only we can see a lot of change. Okay. And I wish all the youth, please come forward and to see that you should join politics not for bad, but for the good. Because politics itself is not bad.
Exactly.
So if it, yeah.
That's a wonderful message. And the youth will definitely get to hear that. And,
thank you.
And appreciate for having a leader like you.
Thank you.
So then, assuming that your party is, your party manages to be in the government in the next assembly election,
right?
What would be the few things or important things that you would like the people of Nagaland, especially the youth, to know that hey, we are going to do this for the improvement of youth, let's say employment. We have too many unemployed youth.
Yes.
What message would you like to give to the youth? Like, if we get elected, we're going to do this for you.
Yeah. For the youths of Nagaland, I would say that we walk the talk. And we would like to surely garner support for you all. That is not by words, but with action. And also to the women, I would say that women also need an equal opportunity.
True.
Not being biased about things. Yes, I know, I do understand that Nagaland are not biased, but in many ways, they have been deprived. So I would say that if we can come forth with the youth and the women empowerment, I think there will be a lot of changes. Because the woman plays a key role in the house or in wherever. And we have seen the good leadership of any leaders in women. When they come to power, they have shown their real principle with integrity, or the yeoman spirit, I would say that. So I feel that we need to bring up them. And I know that, and I also have great faith that when we give a limelight to both of them, not depriving the other sect, but anyway, the other side, I think they can do immense transformation. So I have a great aspiration that we will come, if we come to power, we are going to give ample time and ample avenues, especially to the youths, because they are living outside our state, you know, and they are going in a place where they are not familiar with, and the conditions are not very conducive, because out here we are so friendly, but outside is not very safe. And they think it is the same thing out there. And many a time our youths are going out just for even a couple of thousand rupees, right. You know, 5,000-10,000, we're working outside. Right. Whereas we can have the same avenue over here. And in the homegrown, it's much safer. We know the people and we can aspire one another. Exactly. So I feel that one day we will have this dream come true. Exactly. And I know that the youth of tomorrow can actually really be a transformation along with the women and along with good leaders, visionary leaders, I would say that. Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah.
Wonderful message. I'm sure the youth have got that message. And as maybe the last question, not necessarily the least. So as being a leader of the Nagaland State NPP party, how is your party doing at this moment? Is it on the declining side, or is it gaining momentum for your internal?
Not bragging, but I would say ours is an uphill, and then it's going and going in double and triple fold. We are really coming up. Not bragging, okay, but that's a fact, because they see the leaders, good leaders, tall leaders like Conrad. We see good leaders in Arunachal, in Manipur. And not forgetting Nagaland, which is, we are going to make an iconic change over here. So I feel that NPP will transform everything. And we know that, as I said earlier, we walk the talk and we are going to have a lot of performance done. And you could see that in Meghalaya happening. The roads have been linked up every corners. And I hope that we need to look into the road factor. Our deplorable condition road in Nagaland has become very saddening, you know. The basic amenities, if the government cannot give, what do you expect, you know? We need to really think into it, because that's the basic amenities what the government could give. So I feel that the road should be given equal importance with electricity and, well, water, although it's very painstaking, At least the villagers can go down the stream, walk it up and all that. It's a good exercise. But yes, we need water also. But the most important, what I could feel that in Nagaland is that we need to have roads, a good linking roads. And if that cannot be met, then what can the government do for us? And besides that, we need to have development, as I said earlier, medical tourism and medical college should be there, good infrastructures for skill set industries so that the youth do not have to depend on the outside state. We need to help ourselves, grow. And I think our government is surely going to look into that first because we are proactive and pro-youth, pro-women and pro-development. And we will make surely 100% transformation if we come to power. That's guaranteed.
Wonderful. And thanks for giving us this time, Doctor. And we would like to talk to you again in more extensive, in more lengthy discussion on many of the issues that Nagaland state is facing and how your party is gearing up to tackle all these challenges and issues. So thanks for your time and we'll talk again, Doctor.